If you've ever wondered how you can collect more money down at the point of sale, well, in this video, we're gonna go over a few ways how you can approach this to maximize down payments, minimize installment plans on the back end, and ultimately collect more commissions. So let's say, for an example, your offer presents a $7,500 installment plan or a $5,000 paid in full option. The paid in full is off the table. For some reason, they cannot put down $5,000. They don't have it. They're waiting on money to clear. They just giving you objections and you don't know how to handle it. Whatever it might be, $5K is off the table. We now have an agreement in place that they would be willing to break it up for the $7,500 installment plan. Now, a lot of the times, what happens on these offers is that we box ourselves in and we are told, okay, if you're going to go the installment plan, we can do 3 payments of this or 1 payment of, or 2 payments of that or 6 payments of this. Instead, what we should be looking for is potentially some additional flexibility to meet the prospect where they're at, while also being able to maximize our potential of cashing in a bigger commission check. So if you have questions that are coming through the prospect that are going, okay, can I make additional payments? Can I make installment payments? Can I make a payment plan on this or whatever it might be? Obviously, the answer is going to be yes. And your first step with this entire process is to, number one, set the expectation of the payment plan. Just don't be like, yeah, sure, what are you thinking? Let's just make something happen. That's not sales, that's taking orders. But we can set expectations of the payment plan. Yeah, absolutely. We can do an installment plan. That's not an issue. Typically, people in your situation will put down about 50% or so of the initial program and then pay off the additional 50% on the back end. Is that something that you'd like to potentially do? Would that make sense for you? So you present your first offering, if you will, of the installment plan. And again, if they want to take that 50-50 split, take down half of 75. Congratulations. If they say yes right away, no more arguments, done deal, lock it in. If they say, well, no, I can't even put down 50% today, you have any other flexible terms? In which you're going to reply, sure, that's not a problem. We can definitely look into see what we could possibly do to help you out. Number 2 is you put it on them. So you set your expectations of the payment plan with your first offer. They say no, they want to see if they can get a better deal or whatever it is, or they might not have the money. So then you put it on them. So you agree, totally understand, that's not a problem. We can look and see what we could possibly do. I guess, what were you thinking about doing? And you want to hear them out because let's put it this way. So let's put it this way. If you put it on them, what were you thinking about? Oh, maybe doing like $300 a month for the next 40 months and maybe we can make it work like that. That's not going to happen. You have your expectation. You have a ballpark of where you want to be at, but you also want to gauge where they're at. Because if they are way out of the ballpark, it's not even remotely close, it's not even remotely workable, is it really worth your effort to try to get them from 3,000 up to 1,000, up to 15, up to 3? That's a long, steep hill. You either missed on presenting in the value or they are just so financially disqualified that we shouldn't even be having this conversation, or they're so financially disqualified that we should be looking at whatever downsells, reoccurring models are available that we could potentially monetize on, but it's definitely not meant for this project. So let's say you put it on them and someone who is reasonable says, well, you know, I was thinking I could do like $1,500 down today, and I guess what would the monthly payments be at that point? Okay, we're getting somewhere. Is it exactly where we want to be? No, it's in the ballpark, but what's most important is that they are asking buying questions. They are saying, okay, if I put this money down, what's my monthly payments look like? They're out of the decision-making phase at this stage. They've already made the decision they want to work with you. Now they're just figuring out the logistics on the back end. Which brings me to step number 3. It's important for them to feel uncomfortable. And you tell them this, you use these words. It's important for you to feel uncomfortable. Okay, so this is how we're going to present it. You put it on them, and they're like, yeah, I can maybe do like $1,500 down, and the monthly payments on that, what would that look like? Don't worry about the monthly payments right now. Worry about the down payment. Yeah, okay, the $1,500. That's close. I guess, can I share something with you really quick? Sure, what's that? I know this means a lot to you, right? Like you want to be successful with it. Well, yeah. What I have found is that when people enter the program feeling a bit stretched, not that you can't put food on the table or pay your bills, but I guess a little uncomfortable. They've put down enough money that it gives them like that pit in their stomach, the butterflies in their stomach. They're anxious, they're excited, but it's also, I guess, a little painful for them to put that money down. Those people come out like a bat out of hell. Oh man, do they absolutely crush it, because now there's like legitimate skin in the game. Is 1,500 with what you're saying like a comfortable number for you? And then you sit and you wait. And they're going to say, well, I mean, 1,500 is pretty comfortable. Okay, my recommendation, let's make it 25. Let's really put our flag on the ground and say, this is exactly what we're going to do. And I know that it's going to mean something to you to really come in and get to work, because if you can come up just a little bit more, I know that that's going to make you feel a little bit more uncomfortable in what you're currently feeling, which is a really positive thing, because I know you're going to come in and dominate. Would you be willing to come up to 25? Then we can figure out the monthly payment plans on the back end. Okay, we get them to stretch a little bit. Instead of just accepting that 15, we see if we can pull it, if we can get a little bit more out of it. Or they come back and they give you a new offer. Derek, 25 is really stretching it for me. I don't know if I can do that. If we did like 18, is that something that we could possibly do? You know what? Let's lock that in. That's not a problem. 18 sounds good. Now let's figure out the back end and the logistics on the installment plan. Is that fair? Yeah, that's fair. We're closed. We've submitted our down payment, right? Every company, every offer is going to have their minimal acceptable down payment. Know what yours is. Don't just be winging it, but you have to be able to hit that threshold and then try to stretch. If it's 15, they say 15, get them to 18, 2,000, etc. But it gives you some leverage in the sale. It puts them in a better situation to go out and crush it. And it also puts you in a position to close more sales, because now you're meeting the prospect where they're at, as opposed to trying to box them in. Now, from this point forward, you have your money down, you have your installment plan. If you haven't seen it already, go see the training on financing, on how to finance after accepting a down payment or deposit into the program, so that you can get more commissions up front and save the prospect money.